join me today. I'm doing a little bit of a different sort of layout today. Single page layout. I'm using the Wild Flourish collection and it is, I think it's beautiful. I thought I'd do a quick flick through for you so you could have a look at it. I got mine from Spotlight quite a while ago, so I'm not even sure if you can still grab this pad, but it's really pretty. A lot of foiling involved. Now, I wanted to do a multi-page layout, single page layout, but with 12 photos on it. It can be done. I'm telling you, it looks really good in the end, I think. Let me know what you think. I love this watercolored background, and I've put just a 1/4 inch black border around it, just to frame it, to give your eye somewhere to rest when you get to the end, you're sort of looking around. These are the size photos that I'm using now. They're not exact squares. I've sort of cut some down a little bit so it all fits in right. Now, this yellow paper, it reads as a solid when you look at the whole 12 by 12 page. And this is a generic ink cube. I've had it for ages, like I'm talking 10 years, 15 years. And it literally matched this paper beautifully. So I used it, and I used this little tiny dauber. So this is why I've gone ahead in advance and done most of the inking, because we'd be here forever. But here I'm just showing you the difference between inked and not inked. See, it just makes it pop. I know it was quick, but that was my point. I was showing you the inked edge, even though it's yellow on yellow, it does make a difference. So what I'm showing you now, so I'm putting 2 strips down the side, and then what I'm actually doing that I'm going to show you here is I'm putting some, I make it look very difficult there, but there I'm doing like it's a flap. So it opens out like a window on both sides, and this allows me to add some embellishments on such a really busy layout. And you are able to, I've done many of these, and you just slice your page protector when you put it in. Okay, I use Creative Memories page protectors. So the way they are in the album, it's easy to do. You just put a little slice, slip your window through, and then it can flat on the outside and it's fine. It doesn't get damaged. Honestly, it's great. So then what I did is I've obviously already pre-measured this, but what I did is I put one photo at the bottom and then one photo at the top to get my measurements before I connected the window permanently. So I'm going to call it a window. A flap just sounds weird. So I went ahead and did this. I tried to get this lined up perfectly, and then I realized I should have just turned it like that, shouldn't I? But it worked. I did it right. And then I just flipped it over. Now, the reason I use glue on top of the Taperunner, one, this Taperunner is very new to me, and when I make my mini albums, I always use art glitter glue, and it holds like there's no tomorrow. See, it makes a perfect little window. And the reason I do that, and the reason I've attached it to the yellow piece the way I have, it hides the spine. It hides where you've connected it, so it just looks seamless. So when you go back to the page, it's all tucked under neatly. There's no leftover chunky bits hanging out anywhere, because you've used paper on top of paper. So as you can see here, so where I flip it over, see all the messy joinery is behind so it's going to be sandwiched between that yellow piece of paper and with the florals and the watercolor piece. So it just looks really neat and tidy. And I think it makes it pop. Looks really good. So what I'm doing now is I'm then obviously going to, I was showing you there see how it's just all tucked away neatly, and it looks right, and I was happy with it. So that's what I was saying about the tape runner. So I have not used this tape runner for any length of time. So for me personally, I wanted to add that bit of glue for the reassurance that down the track, we all know certain tapes let go, and the tapes that I've been using have been fantastic, but I really need a tape runner of some description. So this is what and I'm loving, absolutely loving this one. So I just wanted to add a bit of glue in there. And I burnish things purely from a mini album perspective. If you burnish out the air bubbles between the tape runner, and where the tape has connected the two pieces together, it prevents it drying out and then letting go. So that's why I did that. Now I've decided to raise up the top two photos in the middle and the bottom two photos in the middle, because that will give me, I apologise for, that's yellow. I don't know why my camera is throwing it so bright. I guess it is bright, but it's not that bright. But anyway, so I decided to, and I left this in because, you know, sometimes you've got to see things like this. And I use, so the foam that I use to lift my pages up, or my photos up on my pages, I just use, it's adhesive backed foam, and I just get it from Spotlight, and it costs, I think, from memory, I think it's only about $5 or $6 for, I think it's about 50 sheets, and they come 6x4. Honestly, it's the cheapest way to use foam adhesive here in Australia, because sometimes it can get really expensive to buy decent quality, scrapbook quality adhesive foam. Sorry, I had to spin that around without me getting my head in it, because my camera is up above me. So without me getting my head, I have to spin it occasionally. Sorry about that. So then inside my little windows, that's where I'm going to add my other two photos. Now, and then what I do, as an afterthought, so my journaling is actually going inside those windows. So where the watercolor is on each window, that's where I'm putting my journaling. So I just wanted to say a few things and whatnot. So I do my journaling later, because unless it's part of the feature of it, I just do it later. It's just personal. So this is, she looks hilarious in that photo. It makes me laugh. And I tucked the blue bunny ear photo. I tucked that behind because the blue just dominated the entire page, and it drew your eye to that photo. So I thought it came out really good. Now, my embellishments. I don't have an embellishment pack because, as I've said before, I don't always buy an embellishment pack to go with my paper pads. I create my own 9 times out of 10. So I cut these flowers out from one of the pages out of the same paper pad. Run some ink around the edges, and they looked. It turned out really good. It's actually. I'm sitting here looking at this now, and that top one, I ended up putting some foam underneath it. I did cut out some pink flowers, the same collection, on the same page. But I felt like when I added the pink to the page, it was just, it didn't work. It was like, even though that one in the middle, like the watercolor in the middle, it's like a watermelon color. The pink, nah, it didn't work at all. So I ended up ditching the pink and just ran with the yellow and the orange flowers. Raised that one up, and then I had a problem. My hands were playing up on me and I couldn't get my hands to grip properly. I have very little feeling in my fingertips on my right hand. So I had to just go ahead and glue everything down without moving anything because I was struggling. These little tiny pieces just here, it was a struggle to get them in. And that's why I had to redo my voiceover, because I had to cut a big piece out because I just could not get them to slide into each other. Hey, we all have those days, am I right? Some days are good, some days are bad. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. But in the end, it totally works out and I absolutely love it. So I'm just gluing these down. I did add a couple of extra little bits here and there. And this one I just raised up on some foam. I didn't want this page to be two-dimensional because it's got the little windows on it, and you don't want to add too much weight when you do something like that, because you think about the extra weight that's in that card that's been double matted on top of, and it's really only glued between two pieces of paper. So you don't want to add too much bulk on top of that. I did consider adding just a few more flowers on here. I think I ended up putting this one on and then that was it. So at this point, I'm just going to do this, glue that one on, and that's pretty much it for the embellishments. Then my title. I was up to titles already. Gee whiz. That went quick. So my titles, I got Oh Snap from their thickers, and they're from the Colourful Puffy stickers. It's called Colourful. So I grabbed Oh Snap and then I put Chat underneath it, and I used Stickopotamus stickers. I don't even know if that brand's around anymore. Again, I've had these stickers for a very long time. And they're mini brushed letters, and that's what I put Chat underneath with. This is me playing. I wasn't sure whether I should or shouldn't add some yellow underneath it to make it pop. So I just grabbed a bit of cardstock, put whatever excess yellow was on there, and put it underneath to see if I would like it before I actually did on my layout, and I loved it. So I had a great epiphany. So I just added a bit more, and the ink sort of blended in really well. It wasn't, I was a bit worried because, as I said before, this ink is really old, and I wouldn't normally ink blend with such a small dauber, but because it's going behind the Oh Snap, it worked perfectly. Oh, there you go. They're the thickers that I got it from. The Oh Snap. Now, they're super sticky, but the reason I add a little bit of glue to this is because that ink pad, as I've already said 15 times, it's really old. So I wasn't sure if it was going to, I don't know, maybe not dry properly or become chalky, or I wasn't sure. So I thought, you know what? Art glitter glue to the rescue. That'll fix it. So I did that and it worked perfectly. I was really happy with it. And then see the little black flicks? They were on this, they're out of the same set. And this is my Stickopotamus brushed letters. So like I said, I've had these for so long. They were some of the very first supplies I ever bought, like 20 years ago. So I put Chat underneath it, so the title is Oh Snapchat. And then I added on some, I did put these black bits on. I thought it sort of made it shout, I guess. So if you're still with me with my ramblings, I hope you enjoyed the page. I would love it if you could subscribe and give me a like if you liked it. And if you subscribe, I'm trying to put up at least 2 videos a week now. So if you do like it, please pop back. I will be putting up another video early next week. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And now I'm going to do my, give me a thumbs up. Sorry about the hands, honestly. So this is me doing a close-up for you. There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye.